Hi, I'm Cameo Amalthea with the CFG here at Comic Media Expo as Tinkerbell with Rufio himself, Dante Basco.
How you guys doing?
All right, Dante, well, on the hook theme, first question. What is your happy thought?
My happy thought. My fiance.
Oh, isn't that sweet? All right, now you're known for a few things, Rufio, Zuko, and you're very popular in the Homestuck fandom. How did you get into Homestuck?
The Homestucks found me, and they just let me know to read the comic. And Rufio he makes a guest appearance, and so I just started reading it. I totally forgot that I was in it, and just kind of got caught up in the whole world. And then it's just really really crazy story that I'm not 100% sure what it's all about, but I think that's pretty much part of the whole thing. Go check it out, mspaintadventures.com.
All right. Now, I know you like poetry, so here's a tough question. Coleridge or Wordsworth?
I guess Wordsworth. I don't know. I'm more like...
High five. I'm all about them daffodils. I know a lot of younger people might not be as into poetry, and, it's not seen as a cool thing, but you have a lot of young fans. So what would you say to them to tell them about why you love poetry, why they should maybe get involved with it, and what it's all about?
Yeah, no, poetry's back. People have been, me and my crew were part of the whole spoken word scene that came up in the 90s and part of the inspiration that became Def Poetry Jam and HBO. And I throw the biggest poetry venue, open mic venue in the country, DPL, the Poetry Lounge. And so, like a lot of new kids are coming up. I think we're like anywhere from like 300 to like 500 people a week come see poetry, spoken word. So it's kind of changed, a lot of people just sharing their stories. It started out in my living room about 17, 18 years ago. And so for those people, just like keep writing, keep going to open mics and sharing your stories. It's all about learning from each other and the stories and the lives that we've lived. And, it's just this new way of learning about each other, and it's all storytelling. So it's the same thing. It always comes down, whether it's poetry or filmmaking or television or even visual art. It's all about trying to tell a story.
Could you tell us, what does honor mean to you?
Honor, man. That's one of those lines. I don't think I even realized what I was saying the whole time when we were doing when we were playing Zuko, and I wasn't even. I think when I started getting all these notes about honor, I'm like, what are they talking about? And then not until you kind of go back and when I went to go watch the series again, it's like you really realize how much honor. Zuko's always looking for his honor. It's funny how things that we do in projects. Things kind of jump out at the audiences, and people kind of, they latch onto certain ideas and certain aspects that you aren't really even latched onto yourself as you're doing it. And so that's kind of great thing about art is there's an experience of us putting it together and us just performing it, and then there's another experience that the audience, receives it, and magical things come out of every part of the process.
So you had the fortune of working with a lot of really great actors, including some who have passed on, Mako and Robin Williams. What was that like, having these great people be mentor and father figures to you, and working with them and how they've impacted your life?
Yeah, it's always great to work with great artists. You have to understand that because I was a kid coming up in the industry, and especially a lot of new artists coming up, there's masters that come before you, and if you're fortunate to work with them, be a sponge, learn from them. They've all taught me different things. Robin or Mako, of course Hoskins, Bob Hoskins, who moved on. It's like you got to understand that as a young artist, we don't know. There's no use reinventing the wheel. I mean, we're all young and hot shots at one time of our lives, but you got to understand the history that comes before you. And I always say a quick poem that I wrote. It's like, seek out and study what a master if you're after greatness. My aim is to impact the world and be the catalyst for changes. What your name is, you should want to be good more than you want to be famous.
Powerful words. Seeing it, that's the impact of poetry. So I think a lot of your fans, they might want to see you as their master if they want to come up in poetry and dance and acting. And do you have any other words of wisdom for them other than don't care about the fame, just do what you love? People who want to look up to you, follow you, people in the Asian community. Just final words to sign off for them.
Yeah, you just for everybody that wants to be an artist or any craft, doesn't have to be in acting, writing, producing, or illustration. Is just remember it's a craft, and you should do it every day, or as often as possible. You are what you do most of the time. And I know we all do a lot of stuff in life, but if you want to be an artist, be on that path, constantly, study what you're doing, do what you're doing, celebrate other artists that are doing what they're doing, and the more you do something, the better you can be at it. So I would just say, just follow that path every day.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here with us.
No doubt. Thank you.